Namaste guys, Ashish here for Namaste Tech, and in this video I'm going to review Amazfit Verge. That's a recent smartwatch from the company, and I have reviewed their previous versions of fitness trackers, Stratos and Core, and I've been using Fitbit from a very long time. So to sum up, I have a fairly good idea on smartwatches and how to deal with them, and I go out for my daily walk and gym and exercises. So I primarily use my smartwatches to track my sports activity. So in this video, I'm going to review the Amazfit Verge, and I'm going to share my experience of using it for over like 2 weeks now. I've been using it for almost everything like sleep tracking, workouts, and indoor run, cycling, and all those stuff. Just before we start, make sure to hit the subscribe button below and of course the bell icon so that whenever we make a video, the video is right in your inbox and you can watch it without missing it. Let's get started. So starting with design and build quality. So it's specifically targeted for the youngsters. If you have seen fast track watches for young generation, that's what you are looking at actually. Very similar, very minimal design. The primary thing it offers is its functionality. There's nothing a wow factor on its design. So don't really have something like a Stratos factor, which was really good, but it missed on the display part. But this one is like, if you are looking for a decent smartwatch, this is what you need to have. Also, during my workout, I didn't have any problem of with sweat or any kind of allergy or any irritation kind of thing. It was working just fine. Now I'll talk a little bit about how things are arranged on the smartwatch. So you have a home button, that's a single button that you press and the display unlocks, and then you can swipe across and see everything here. Then you have a microphone next to the home button, a little down, and then you have a speaker on the opposite side. So yes, this watch can actually receive calls. You can talk over it. I'll share my details in few minutes. And the straps are replaceable. You can take them out. It's a little hard to put it back in, but at least it's replaceable in case you break it. What really impressed me was its AMOLED display. It's beautiful. So when I was using Stratos, it was using some reflective technology, and that was very disappointing. But this one comes with the AMOLED panel, so the colors and the brightness is everything like done right. Finally, a watch from Amazfit which is done right. That's what I would say when it comes to display. So you can see it in bright light as well as in dark. There's no problem on that. Now the display might look like, you know, those digital watches might look like something built on a paper, but it's not actually paper, you know what I mean? So it's crisp. That's what I would like to say. It's very crisp. Even in during high sunlight or a bright light, it just works beautifully. So when it comes to interacting with the display, since this Amazfit has more like device oriented stuff, everything is on the watch. You do exercise, you get all the data right on the watch. You don't have to really sync with your smartphone. That's a huge plus point. This is very important for those people who want to see the data right away after they work out. They don't want to sync with the phone and wait and see all those stuff. So you have to interact with the display more often, and I didn't find any problem in that. Even when your hands are sweaty, that's something a huge plus point, because when you're working out, your hands might get sweaty and the display might not work if it's not done right. So when you work out and you still interact with the display, it just works. Now let's talk about fitness tracking. That's the primary goal of a smartwatch. And how did it work? So it can track like 11 different activities, which include both outdoor and indoor. So when I went to gym, it was like indoor cycling, treadmill. When I go outside, you have got like tennis, golf, and all those kind of activities can be tracked very easily, and it works out. It supports GPS, so that's again a plus factor. It has got all the sensors like gyroscope, and you have magnetic sensors, compass, everything is there. So tracking everything down, all your activities is really good in this, and I think it's more or less accurate. Follow the rule of thumb that, you know, If the error is consistent, then yeah, it works out. Of course, there was a bit of difference. I'll talk about it later. There are a few things which I really liked about the activity tracking. First, I will talk about is the auto tracking for walk and run. Now, many times it may so happen that you start running and you don't start the sports activity, the run activity here. What it does in the background is if it detects any kind of motion for a longer period of time, it kickstarts tracking automatically. It will prompt you, and if you say yes, it will also kickstart GPS. This is something really good because for example, in my Fitbit, it can track the activity, but in the background, no GPS. But this one kicks in the GPS, make sure my track is also mapped. But yeah, it'll start from where it detects the activity, not before that. But at least if you're forgetting often, this is a huge help. Same happens when you stop. So if you stop for a while, don't move around, it'll ask if you are done with that and you can save it. Alright, so what about other activities like treadmill run and also there's something which I really liked about treadmill thing is that it helps you to recalibrate. Meaning if you just came out of the treadmill mode and you step down off your treadmill and you try to save it, it will prompt you if you want to recalibrate it. So if the distance shown on your treadmill and the distance shown on your watch is different, you can actually recalibrate it. That actually is very nice because I've seen a difference of like 300 to 500 meters compared to my treadmill. Fitbit was at par, but this was off the chart, so it allowed me to recalibrate and save my settings properly. But I didn't see it working for elliptical or cycling, indoor cycling. Of course, you don't need a distance, but there was nothing like a recalibration thing on both these modes except for treadmill. Alright, now let's talk about sleep tracking and HR. So sleep tracking was surprisingly accurate, meaning it was at par with my Fitbit data. So I'm saying it accurate. So unlike Stratos, which was off the chart, this was really well done. I'm not sure what they have done it, but it's better, much better than what was in the Stratos. So sleep tracking works out really well. HR tracking, so it does a continuous HR tracking, and you can also go for a single HR tracking. So you hit the button, tracks your HR, and it works according to that. So it comes with two lights in the back which can track your heart rate. I would say it was less compared to what was shown on my Fitbit, but what I saw was it was kind of accurate with my gym machines. Like for example, when I was using treadmill or just for an experiment on my treadmill and elliptical, it was very close to what they were showing. So the kind of HR rating I got was probably more accurate if I take the gym machines as a standard factor. Now the app and the data analysis which you get, so it's huge. That's what I would say. It tracks so much of data and it shows so much of data on the watch that you might get overwhelmed if you are not used to it. Now the app also shows all the data, all the details which you wanted to see, and the device also shows all the data you wanted to see. Thing is, I kind of liked it. I wasn't really very happy about it when I started using Stratos, but then when I started going to gym and I wanted to check if my workout was really good, I was able to see that instantly. That's where the benefit is. That also changed my view that this feature wasn't there just for the sake of being there, but it is actually useful if you have done a workout and you want to see the data right away. And that reminds me that this Amazfit doesn't have any workout mode. This means if I'm doing a workout like a cardio or something in the gym, there's no option for that, something which my Fitbit has, and I kind of like it because all those activities around the day are tracked as well. And the last thing in the list is the battery life, which is impressive. So I have used it like for a week, and of that 4 to 5 days was my workout time, 2 days was leisure time, and workout time usually lasts for 1.5 hours or something like that, and it lasted for like flat 6 days, very easy with 10% of battery. So that's pretty impressive, I would say, something I would like to see on all smartwatches, and something Amazfit has nailed it. Now that said, there's one charger that comes with Amazfit, and it's kind of odd because it's circular. The wires actually come from the base, so it's kind of odd, but the way they have done is that you put the watch in the cradle and then you leave it like that, so not on the flat but on the side. So that's the way you do it. I'm still not very convinced about the design, but that's about it. Now I'm going to talk about my experience of taking a call with the watch. It was surprisingly good. Now I've never used it before, so it was a bit of excitement using it. So the speakers are good actually. If you are in a silent place, it works out good. Don't try to use it in a public place unless it's really important. So what it is good for is if you want to take a call and say yes or no, or maybe a 15-second conversation that you want to do, it comes in handy. And the microphone and the speakers are good enough for doing that small conversation, I would say. So you have a dedicated button where when you hit it, it changes the call to phone and then you can start talking over there. It's a nice feature, I would say, because when I was working out in gym and I had to take a call, I could take it right here and don't have to take out my phone from the pocket. So that was convenient. So that's the kind of convenience we're talking about, not for taking a whole call on it. And your watch rings as well. So you're not going to miss anything, that's for sure. Apart from that, you have got watch face, you get notification, again, multiple notifications get clubbed up, so you cannot read a lot. And then you have got music support here, which you can upload from your phone. I've tried it, not really a big fan, but I've tried it and it works out super smooth, no problem on that. So there are final questions, should you buy it? I think if you are a kind of person who can compromise with a bit of looks and want to watch a smartwatch that works for a week or so with that kind of workout, go ahead, because I'm sure that if you don't do a lot of workout, if it's less than me, it's going to last even longer. So yes, for the price of 11,000 plus, it's a great smartwatch to buy, that especially that display, it's really good. So guys, that was my review of Amazfit Verge, and if you like the video, do hit the like button, share the video with people who are looking for a review of Amazfit Verge. This is pretty much in detail, and thanks for watching.